My name is Connor, and this is my Lamborghini camper.
Excuse me?
And this is Val, my girlfriend for the last 5 months. We met on Instagram, and I'm stepping on her foot currently. Anyway, I have been traveling around the world in the back of this Lamborghini, literally living in it, which I will show you guys, for over 2 years now. So this is going to be the 2-year review of going through the car, and we'll talk about all the features of the car, the places I have been, and a little bit about this one right here. So we're gonna kind of film this POV style a little bit. We are here in Uzbekistan. It is the golden hour where the sun is going down. And yeah, let's go check out all of the car. If you guys are new to the channel, you haven't seen it. If you're followers for a long time, you've probably seen it. This is the bedroom. It's a little bit messy right now. I'm literally showing you the live tour of what we're going on, literally working on the car. So I've got a fridge and a freezer in here. Lots of flies, unfortunately, here in Uzbekistan, and at least in this area, next to this oil pipeline-y thing. And in here, I've just added this fan because it's like 110 degrees a lot of these days Fahrenheit. So I've had to add this fan to cool down. The fridges get hot, the Red Arc charger gets hot, and all the equipment for the car audio is back in there. So it all vents out through here. Underneath this, I have 300 amp hour battle-born lithium ion batteries. This, yes, everyone is looking, this is my little saw that I just used to cut open this tray. Up here, I have a cup holder for 2 water cups. I've got the monitoring equipment, which the battery's running low, so I need to get this finished and start charging. I've got my tool set here. Yes, I am traveling around the world with a Milwaukee drill, and I'm trying to hand the camera to the camera girl, but she's not paying attention.
I'm just looking at you, I'm fascinated.
Anyway, so I've got a whole tool set here with all sorts of random tools. I like Milwaukee, so I've got all sorts of different Milwaukee drills and tools, and lots and lots and lots and lots of zip ties. Over here, I even have, oh, and frog tape. This is an absolute necessity when traveling around the world. I have a couple rolls of that on the roof. It is the best tape ever because it leaves no residue. So you can tape stuff and it just keeps on taping. I've got my workout equipment, 25-pound kettlebell.
How much is it in kilograms?
I don't know. On part of America, we do pounds. Over here, I've got my, bring the camera over here. I've got my Walmart fan. This thing's battery operated. It's amazing. Can you go turn the lights on, darling, over there? Over in the ceiling, we got to redo that. So it's kind of been a work in progress. I started with the car completely like built out as a camper leaving the US, and I've remodeled it twice. This most recent remodel, it's kind of been from all different countries. Like I've built some things in the US, I've built some things in Poland, like this was all put in Poland. This whole little screen thing back here was Poland. All of this up here I did in Poland. The bed was in Montenegro. The winch mount was in Montenegro. This was in America, where I added all of this. This is our cooking. I speak English good. This is our cooking setup. So we have the stove, we have the cutting board, and all of our utensils and things here. This is kind of a bastard child stove. If you look at the front, I actually took a German guts of a stove and put it with the Eureka American stove. I couldn't find the adapter fittings to make it work. So that's where we keep all of our like dry food and stuff. And here I've just got like a couple tripods and things. We have actually a library now over here. So we've got some Goggins and some other random Russian books because Val is from Russia. And over here, we've got some storage, first aid, paper towels. Now, right here, actually pull this back out, I've got a little trap door, and down here we have all of our clothes. So it's these little bags from Front Runner that we have all of our clothes in. They're these bags, and they're really nice. They zip open. Got my merch here, which you can get on the website. And these bags are just super handy for moving around all of car or house even. Up here we've got all of our umbrella, bike pump, axe. We've got a hammock. We've got the little light. This is a bug light that goes up top. and shines light over the whole area, and all the bugs go up to the light at night on this fishing pole outside. We'll show you that. Got an extra jacket, extra sleeping bag, and a smoke alarm so that, God forbid, something happens, we have that. One of the most important tools on the car is the shovel, because that is how we do the duty most of the time when we're out here in the bush or other places like this. Over here I have a little Dometic faucet, as you can see. Works nicely. Everything is not perfect. It's not like pristine, it's not polished. I literally taped a magnet down with green tape onto the leather and mounted that thing with some Velcro. I've also had all the Velcro over here. I've been a big fan of all that Velcro, which is super nice. Then, moving on over here, obviously you can see we've got this awning. I've got lights that are all around the car, on the top, on the front. Actually, why don't you go around on the front and we'll show them the lights. So I've got this little switch here that I can switch on. I've got a little bit of a siren as well. So all of the lights down there are from Osram. I did originally have lights up here, but unfortunately they made a ton of noise with the air. So I decided to get rid of them, but then I added this shield in Russia. This is actually a Soviet rubber seal. So I've got a Soviet car part on my car, which is crazy, but this shield helps deflect all of the air up, and everything's controlled there. Actually, moving on to the roof, you could stay over there. Up here, I've got the solar panels, and actually, I'll take the phone here, and we'll show them from here. Okay, so we've got the awning here, solar panels right there. This is a portable setup. Got the Starlink there. We've got two 5-gallon, I believe, 20-liter cans, 5-gallon. I've got the Uzbeki flag because we are here in Uzbekistan. Every country I drive through, I add the local flag. This is that fishing pole that extends up way up in the air and allows you to put the light over the whole area. I've got a table and chairs. I would like to build like a little racked storage organizer that I can quickly pop out the table, each individual chair, and the solar panel, but for now, they're just kind of strapped down. And I've got the spare tire there, extra sleeping bag under the spare tire, and a fuel funnel right there that's also a filter that filters out any particulate or water that gets in the fuel line. Especially the next stop is going through Afghanistan, and apparently the fuel there is a little bit questionable. So I've got that to make sure that we should be good for the fuel. Now, if you saw a little, okay, over here, sorry, before we go to the front, we'll move this over. This is actually a freezer, and these are Russian steaks. All of these right here, frozen rock solid. This is at negative 22 degrees Celsius. I've got this Lifesaver water filter. This thing is absolutely amazing. Can you show them how it works, babe?
Can I put it down?
Yeah, yep. So you pump it up right there and you put the dirty water in here. I mean, you try to put as clean of water as possible, but you literally can put like river water in there, not salinated ocean water. And clean water comes out from that side. It's running a little bit low on water, so we'll have to fill that up soon. Then over here, we've got the General Tire AT3s with the Delta off-road rims. This is a German rim on this German tire. Continental owns General Tire. This is an awesome tire. It's soft. It's a little bit extra soft if you're doing a lot of rock crawling. It can puncture easy, but for literal everything that I'm doing, it is an absolutely amazing tire because it is quiet on the road and it is good off the road. So I'm really happy with these tires. I had some different ones before that were super loud, so I don't want to go back to those. But this rim is also very strong. And yes, I do have the carbon ceramic brakes. Sorry, I'm a little sniffly out here. It's very dusty. The carbon ceramic brakes, these are 440 millimeter. They are the largest brakes that are factory on any vehicle, to my understanding. And I've not wanted to switch from the carbon ceramic brakes because of the fact just stops so nicely. Now on the inside, she got the lights on there, so we've got some mood lighting at night. And this whole bed slides out like this, and I've got these little pieces that slide out that I made, and that way we just at night, when it's the two of us, we just push the seats forward and then fold this bed out, and we have that extra length to be able to lay down in here, because I am about 180-ish centimeters, or 5'11", and she's like 5'9" or something like that, 176 centimeter. So we fit nicely in here with a few inches at the head and toe space to spare. So it's, would you say it's quite comfortable?
Fantastically comfortable.
And over here we have a charging setup. So I've got an explanation in Russian and English of who I am that I hand to the cops, because they're always like wondering, where's this car from? Are you an alien? How did you invade our country, etc. So for every country I go through, I add that information. In here, we've got this little charging brick right there, and that actually runs all the way to the auxiliary batteries, which charges everything. Also up here, I have the Max Trax traction boards, which helps to get me out if I'm stuck in the mud. I've used them, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 times. They've come in pretty handy. I've got all of my getting out equipment, recovery equipment, that's the word, on the side here, although it looks like I might need to be replacing the bands on that soon. That was only put in like Poland 5-6 months ago or something like that when I was there. Now, underneath the car, you can kind of see here, it's a little bit exposed, but on the front, we actually added this bumper. I cut off in Romania, actually in Germany, excuse me, in Germany. I can't even remember some things, because this car has literally been built in so many different countries, from Romania to Germany, America. I did some things in England. I did some things in Montenegro. I did some things in Poland. I did some modifications in Russia. Like, we're doing modifications now in Uzbekistan. So it's a constant like work in progress. I had a construction company before. I always like tinkering, and I just always am modifying things to just tweak it and make it a little bit easier and better. And obviously we had to tweak some things with a second person coming on the journey. Now on the front, this bumper, we started making it in Romania and then modified it in Russia. I've got integrated lights in there. We've got the tow points, and I've got this hitch right here, which this is American style standard hitch. This is really cool because I can move the winch from the back to the front. And babe, will you pop the hood, please? The battery electric hookup. I'm doing great with words today. I'm doing all of this video on one take, so if you guys appreciate that, please hit the subscribe and the like button down below. And we are going to open this up and show you the hood under here, if I can do it and film one-handed. So over here is this switch, and this actually turns on this little quick connection point so that I can move the winch from the front to the back of the vehicle and vice versa. Now, the reason that I don't leave it up on the front is because it actually blocks the forward-looking infrared and the cruise control. I also have my little light there. It's zip tied up. A lot of this bumper is like zip tied. It's not perfect. If I had a ton of time in one country that actually had like a really cool, innovative shop, I would redo this whole thing. We did do that in a country, but it really was a bad bumper, so I threw it out and we came up with this. Underneath, we did skid plates in Russia. Those guys at Level Performance, absolutely incredible shop. If you haven't heard of it, definitely check it out. They have a YouTube channel, they have Instagram. They are top-notch, first world, first class, absolutely amazing to work with. They helped me put all of these skid plates on here in a matter of days. They helped me modify and weld up this bumper to protect the intercoolers. Now at some point, maybe in Malaysia or Dubai, or I don't know, somewhere with a cool off-road shop, I may end up, getting these intercoolers, moving them up and doing more of a rock crawler kind of cropped bumper setup. The stock height of the car is this when it's in off-road mode. It's got air suspension. I've thought about moving it up with the stock suspension. You can put these little suspension triggers in there. I have them in the car. I haven't wanted to put them in yet because everything works really nicely on the car, mechanically speaking. So I really haven't wanted to mess with that and jack things up, if you will, just from the sake of keep it stock, Regarding all the things on the car that have gone wrong, on the first year of the trip, I had a battery go out in Romania. It originally came with a lithium-ion battery, so I converted that to an AGM with a kit, and it's a whole mess because the wire that goes from the alternator to the battery is smaller for the lithium battery, so you have to actually make it larger, and I've seen it physically. It is a much larger battery to change the little computer and all that, so it's a bit of a pain because technically speaking, you're supposed to pull out the engine mount, and it's like a 12-hour job in the Lamborghini book. We came up with a little bit different way of doing it. So if you're curious on that, send me a message on Instagram or an email or something. But yeah, we did that. I might actually post it here on this channel for the Poland episode, which is coming up. I'm like 1 year behind on YouTube videos on this main channel. I also have a second channel called Camperghini Uncensored, where you guys can view all of the daily vlogs, completely unedited, just content thrown up. Now, other things on the car, I had in the engine, actually this little O-ring that went out in Hungary that I had to get towed into Austria. That caused the engine to be like stumbly and pretty much had me broken down. The other thing I did, I believe Level Performance replaced the fuel filler cap on the actuator. Was like, as soon as I entered Russia, it was so cold that this thing wasn't like locking back, and I thought it was cold. I don't know, it just broke. So that's not working, or that wasn't working, but they fixed that in Russia. The other thing is if you guys are like smart with airbags, somebody knows, please let me know, email or comment below. This mat here for the passenger airbag sensor, the weight mat, is kind of tripping on and off and on and off at times, coming on and off. So it's like there's a resistance fault when I run the code scanning in that. Now on the other side of the vehicle, it's probably the biggest damage, if you will, or thing that broke, and that's actually this window. So if you come around here, you can see that it's crazy that it just broke like this. So it actually happened in Russia, in Moscow. I was driving down the road and something bounced off of an oncoming truck, like ding, 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 and shattered this. So that's a bit unfortunate. Obviously, there's lots of scrapes and things. Under this, there's like a burn mark when we were welding the roof rack. And oops, there we go. I'm just slamming the door into that. On here, you can see it's scraped really badly. This is actually where a horse in Bosnia came up on the car like this, and it grabbed it and was trying to open the door, which is pretty funny. And I think that's pretty much everything that's like broken on the car. The 35 countries, I will, I guess, put a link to them below, but because I'm not going to name off all the 35 countries that I've been to on this journey, but it's been an absolute blast. The next step in this adventure from Uzbekistan is to drive down into Tajikistan and then drive down into Afghanistan. And from Afghanistan, we will then go over to Pakistan, and then becomes a little bit of the problem. So from India and Pakistan, they're kind of in like a little bit of a battle right now geopolitically. So you can no longer drive from Pakistan into India. So maybe we have to drive up through China and then down through Nepal and Bhutan into India, then over to, I believe it's Sri Lanka, and then we get stuck again because Myanmar's at civil war. So
Sri Lanka's an island.
Huh?
Sri Lanka's an island.
Sri Lanka? No, yeah, Sri Lanka's south. What's the place next to India?
India?
Yeah.
Myanmar?
Is that right next door? Anyway, okay, I think it's right next door. Basically, you go to India and then you get stuck again, and you have to get on a boat or a plane or something to get around, or back through China because Myanmar's at civil war. So maybe we need to help like get in there and solve that civil war, make it stable. Otherwise, Thailand and all the way down. I want to go all the way down to Australia, all the way up, try to get into North Korea. Then we'll drive back through Europe. We'll go through the Middle East, hit the countries that I missed, the Nordic countries, then go down west coast of Africa, fly it to Antarctica, drive to the South Pole, then back, and that will be on a Russian plane, which would be a whole cool thing that we've kind of organized there. And then on the east coast, we will drive up Africa, then whatever countries we've missed, because I'm sure other countries will be at civil war in Africa, because this is a multi-year long trip. Then we will go to South America and go from the south all the way up to the north, back into the good old US of A for the whole round the world trip. So that is the general direction and the plan. Obviously, civil wars and conflicts and things change. I've been on this trip for 26 months now. She's been on it for 5 months now. Of that 26 months, and yeah, it's an epic adventure. We'll see where things go. It's going to be many years, and that's why I try not to get into geopolitical stuff. When I went to certain places in Bosnia and Kosovo and other places like that, and regions in Russia, people were mentioning things about all the geopolitics. Is this a country? Is not a country? Wales, Scotland, all that. I'm just going to call all of these things territories that I'm counting, okay? So whether I say countries, territories, I mean territories. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm just counting them as my trip goes along. And again, I'm not getting into politics, and countries will change, borders will change. Borders have already changed from the time I started this journey to now. So over the next number of years, as I continue this journey, who knows what border is going to be where and who's leading what country. So for me, this is a much longer trip than any geopolitics or border crossings. And yeah, I think that's the essence of the trip around the world. Anything else you wanted to add from the female side? If you guys are curious how, and I'll let her talk in a second, how we met, when I was in Russia, she saw one of my videos and actually tagged it in her story and was like, oh my God, I'm in love. This is like the most awesome trip, because she had been on her own trip in a Mini Cooper with a friend of hers through how many countries?
49.
49 countries. So she has some experience driving around, living in a car, which is absolutely fabulous to have someone with experience in that regard. And yeah, so she sent me a DM while I was in Russia. We talked for what, I don't know, 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving Russia, like the last day in Russia, we got on a FaceTime call for like 2 hours or something. 4 hours? Okay, 4 hours, excuse me. To like 3 a.m. in the morning. She packed her bag, got on a flight by like 9 or 10 a.m., flew to some random airport in Kazakhstan. And what was the city?
No, actually, not that random. It was through Astana to Uralsk.
To Uralsk, like I said, random city in Kazakhstan. Met up with me. I got stuck at the Russian border, couldn't get out. Then I got stuck at the Kazakh border because they didn't think my passport was legit, because they'd never seen an American passport before. So then I was a day late, but I got there and picked her up. And the rest, I guess, is history.
5 months ago.
5 months ago, and we've been together almost every single day for 5 months, short of like 2 weeks when we've each been, like, she had to fly back to Dubai for some work, and then Europe and stuff like that. So other than that, like, we've been together this whole time, and there's been some ups and downs, and we can talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, it's cool, the power of Instagram bringing people together,
And power of experience too.
and the power of experience and street smarts, which she's very helpful in. She speaks what?
It's a life hack. People should not know which languages I speak.
She speaks a lot of languages. Let's just put it that way. So careful what you say around her. And yeah, so that's the general tour on living in a Lambo for the last 2+ years. It's an absolute epic adventure, and we'll see you guys in the next country, next adventure. I don't know. I'm about to post a bunch of videos from the last year on this channel, so stay tuned to those. Thanks for watching. Also, if you guys are not following, follow on Instagram and on TikTok, all the social medias. I have a website, Camperghini.com, where you can get all of the merch, and this merch, all the merch, everything's coming on the website, as well as I'm going to do a Q&A. So hit me with comments down below and let me know all of the questions you have about the trip. I'm also going to put up some things on Instagram to hear what your guys' questions are, because I want to do a video with all of the Q&A that everyone has about this trip. And there's one last thing, now that I think about it, that also broke like very early on in the trip, and that's up here, this little button for this light. That was the other thing that broke on the car. Okay, one last bonus thing, guys. The dash here has started to completely shrink and peel up. As you can see, I've been in lots of hot places, so it's been like shrinking and peeling. But she's getting mad at me to end this video because we need to drive to this really cool lake. We need to charge the batteries and drive to this really cool lake in the south of Uzbekistan. So we'll see you next time.